everyone, welcome into your weekly nutritional oracle card reading. If you don't know who I am, because you haven't been here before, my name is Erin, and in just a moment I'll be doing our reading for the week that will give us some information about the messages that the universe has for us, spirit, God, however that resonates with you. We'll get the energies, messages, and I will compile that information together and give you some lovely nutritional advice and some food suggestions for the week to help support your body the best way that you can, so you're able to have a little less stress and try to connect with your body more so that you can hear what it has to say to you and help you find joy in your life. All right, so if that sounds like it's something for you, then you can go ahead and subscribe. You can ring the bell if you want to be notified every Sunday when I come out with a new video. And you can even share it if you desire, if you think somebody else could benefit from the information that I will be offering here on this channel. So thank you for stopping in and joining me today. I really appreciate you hanging out with me for a bit. I know everybody's time is valuable, so I am grateful for you being here. And if you are returning, you know how it works, you know what's going on. I am grateful for you as well. Very grateful for you, because I'm happy that you are back and that you're my friends. You're my friends. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get into our reading. We are doing December 14th through December 20th, 2020, towards that end of the year. All right, so let's see what's going to be happening. I'm going to go ahead and, per usual, do a overview. We want to see what the energy is going to be first, right? Joy and music. All right. Number 28. I like joy and I love music. So she's got her little, obviously we're going to be learning about the joys of music and what that can offer us in our lives. And we have talked about music before here, right? And discussed how that can offer us messages, right? Sometimes we can hear words and messages in songs that just pop up out of the blue. So maybe I am kind of feeling that for some of us. If that's resonating with you, that could be a truth that you may want to dive into. So if you notice that maybe a song that you don't hear very often on the radio just kind of comes on and you're really drawn to it and it's really saying some things that are really hitting home for you, pay special attention to that, because that's more than likely a message for you from spirit, God, universe, whatever you resonate with. So this card in this instance too talks about how music can change your mood, raise your vibration, and allow you to really express yourself in ways that we don't normally do just in everyday life. For most of us anyways. I'm sure that there are going to be exceptions, of course. But for the bulk of us, we don't normally probably operate through that kind of modality. So here it's asking us to allow us to use that music, to move our bodies, to seep into our heart, to let us start to feel the joy and let it shine through in self-expression through music, okay? So we're obviously going to want to listen to music that uplifts us and makes us feel good. We're not going to want to probably spend a lot of time listening to things that make us feel not worthy of ourselves or make us feel not so wonderful inside. So pay attention to the music that you're listening to this week and make sure it's something that makes you feel good and makes you think good thoughts and feel good feelings. And of course, this can be any kind of music too, right? It's not just singing music. It can be violin, it can be drums, it can be singing bowls, like any kind of vibrational type of thing. But specifically, I'm hearing really music is going to resonate with most of us this week. Okay, she's got a big full moon there, and you know, the moon is very into the feelings and the emotions, right? It rules our emotions, so we're really being asked to have that emotional joy and bring that out in us. That's not so bad for this week, right? I can deal with that. How about you? So let's move on to some moon energy, see what we will be working with that week. And I know it's this one right here. Okay. Your commitment is being tested. We've got this one before as well, which is fine. A little bit of a reminder. We don't mind the reminders because it keeps us on track, right? Helps us to remember what we were intending to do with whatever goal we're setting, or not. It doesn't even have to be a goal, just where we are trying to head towards in our life and what we are working on right now. Whatever we are wanting to be committed to, it's just a reminder letting us know that, you know, don't forget your commitments and what you've been working on, and are we still there, right? Obviously, if your commitment is being tested, this is also saying that, you know, there could be some challenges that you're going to have to overcome in order to keep your, that's going to see, how committed are you, right? Is this still where you want to be? Are you willing to put in the extra effort to continue on and achieve that feeling, goal, hope, dream, life that you've been working towards? And this is a positive card. This is not something that is going to say, no, you're not having anything. This is like, okay, you're on your way and you're getting there, but let's see how much you want it, right? And that's going to be true with a lot of things in life. So nothing bad, and we can use the music and the joy in our heart to help us overcome any of those areas that may be sticky, right? So we can handle that. So 2 jumped out, and that's okay. So we have Armadillo Spirit and Protection. Set healthy boundaries. Okay. Card number 3, and then we have Hummingbird Spirit, Be Here Now, 34. And I believe we've had Humming Spirit before also. And Humming Spirit, Be Here Now, that's being in the present, right? I think the music will help us to be in that present moment and kind of be able to remember that we're here right now and we're experiencing joy in this moment by what's happening right now. And also relates to this, and you know, our commitments being tested, and we need to take stock, and we need to be in the moment right now to know where we are so we can figure out how we're going to move forward. Okay, and then we have the cute little Armadillo Spirit, and he is in Protection. We got a couple of 3s going on here too, and we had some 3s. 3s were ringing true with me last week also, and we're coming up with a couple more 3s, so pay attention to the 3s again. And that was like the creative expression kind of thing. And he's talking about setting healthy boundaries. So when he is in Protection, he's talking about maybe there are some of us here, and probably a lot of us, that are people pleasers. We take on too much. We are giving, and giving some more until we are completely depleted, right? And we need to be able to set those healthy boundaries so that we aren't completely losing all of ourselves in order. We can't lose all of ourselves to be able to give our gifts to others, okay? We have to be able to have ourself intact and take care of ourselves first so that we can help others with the gifts that we have and help them out too. We have to be able to help us first. So setting healthy boundaries. Okay, so while it may feel uncomfortable and be a little difficult and take us out of our comfort zone when we're people pleasers to set those healthy boundaries, it's really a must to be able to take care of ourselves, because we have to give to ourselves too. So set those boundaries, even if it does make you feel a little uncomfortable. Everything will be okay, and people will respect you more in the long run for that. All right, so let's mix it up a little bit here today, and let's do a numerology card. I've been thinking a lot about numerology lately, and the numbers have been standing out to me, so what the heck? So I say we go with it, and we already got it right here. And I have 2 that popped out again, so we're going to use them. They're for somebody. 78 and 77. So we got 78 and 77. Spiritual career and spirituality. So some of you may be embarking on a spiritual career, and your commitment may be being tested to, is this really what you want? Are you willing to set healthy boundaries? Because you're going to have to tell everybody all the time about boundaries, right? And you're going to have to be able to be speaking from the heart with that. You're going to have to live in that, right? And for the spiritual career, in spiritual, when you're working in the spiritual arena as a career, it really is body, mind, spirit, because that's spirituality, right? Body, mind, and spirit. So some of you, the commitment may be, are you willing to take that course to go the extra step? Is there something that you feel like you're missing, that you're uncomfortable doing something, right? And there's something else that you need to do. Have you fully committed to spirit? Have you been able to bring that in your life to totally surrender? Or are you still kind of working on how this spirituality fits in your life? Kind of feeling that a little bit too. That maybe you're not quite sure and you really want to and you're feeling pulled, but there's a little something that either you think somebody is not going to think highly of it, they're not going to understand it, that you're going to have to explain yourself and you don't want to, right? And that's again with the healthy boundaries. And this is beautiful because this is a career that you could be, I feel for a lot of us, this is a career that we are choosing that we want to go into. And this is also showing that you have what it takes to be able to do that. Obviously, you're a spiritual person, and we have a lot of these colors. Look at that, right? So obviously, you're a very spiritual person, and you have gifts that you can share with other people, and they're waiting for that. There are people who need to hear what you have to say and need the training that you have to offer them, or hear the messages that you have to give them. It's very beautiful. It's very important. These gifts that you have are really going to not only lift you up, but lift the people around you up. So never fear about setting those healthy boundaries and letting people down. By setting the healthy boundaries, you're in turn going to be able to follow through with your commitment to get your career and embark upon that, so that you're able to uplift many more people than you could imagine, than the small circle that you're dealing with the healthy boundaries right now. That's what I'm feeling for some of us. Obviously, it's not going to be for everyone, so take that as it resonates with you. And there's so many different modalities that you can choose with this, so you don't have to embody every which way, forward, backward. We all are psychic in our own ways. We all are able to tap into our intuition. We all have that ability. We're all special in our own way and have our unique gifts, obviously. So there's so many modalities. The oracle cards like I'm doing, or tarot cards. You can life coach. You can be a healer in energy, or other types of healing like nutrition, right? There's so many different modalities that you can do for a spiritual business. So maybe so I'm also hearing that part of the commitment problem is you don't, maybe there's so much going on and there's so many things that you want to do and have so many spiritual gifts, right? That you are having a hard time figuring out how that's all going to mesh together. Okay, so I get that. That makes perfect sense, and I think that happens to a lot of people, right? We all have lots of gifts that come up when you start exploring your spirituality. There's so many things that come up that you're just like, what do I do? Where do I start? Where do I go from here? Okay, so let's explore that just a tiny. because you're really going to need to believe in yourself and what you're doing in order to be able to convey that to other people. So whatever modality you're deciding to do, even if it's several that you kind of mesh together, it's okay to make it your own. You just got to believe it, and you got to know that you can do it, and that it's going to benefit other people, and it's going to be for the highest good, and you're going to be golden. And then I'm feeling that some of it is also, though, for some of us, it's the connection with the higher power, with God, with the divine. Sometimes I feel that sometimes you don't believe that your gifts are true, and that maybe sometimes you feel like you're making shit up. And that's just not the case. It really isn't. You're not making anything up. You have spiritual gifts. We all have spiritual gifts to some degree, but I feel like for some of you, they maybe came out of the blue, so to speak. Like all of a sudden you were like, didn't really think about it, and then you thought about it, and it was like, wow, I really have so many of these different kinds of gifts. Like maybe you felt you're more psychic than you were, or maybe you had heard voices in your head, not that there's not on a mental health kind of capacity, but just hear things that come to you. And maybe you have several of these things that are happening, and since they happen so quickly and you notice them so quickly, that you just think you're making it up. Okay, you're not making it up. That's not the case at all. What needs to happen is you just need to embrace your connection. You need to do things that strengthen the connection to your spirituality with Source, and be at peace with that. Be at peace with that. Because finding that connection is finding your joy in that, and finding peace in that. That is your home. That's where you live. That is home. So for so many of us who are always looking for home, feeling that we don't belong, that's home. Finding where your relationship with God leads you, spirit, higher power, whatever, Source, finding where you fit in the big picture of things, and being able to help other people, be of service of other people while being intact yourself, that's home. That's where you belong. So don't fear. It can be fearful because sometimes when you don't get it for so long, you live in that for so long, it's just like, I don't know, but you need to know. You need to know, and you need to believe. You need to believe. So, and then we talked a little bit about this last week too, and how you get a stronger connection. Whatever works for you. Music is going to be a big thing for a lot of us, okay? Really pay attention to the music. So I feel like some of you are really going to get into the whole vibrational energy kind of thing. And so I think that there's people who are listening because we've had the vibrational healing come up before. And I don't know if that's just going to be a thing that kind of explodes all of a sudden. I mean, I know it's been around for a very long time, but now I don't know if we're just going to start feeling it a lot more or seeing it a lot more or something. But I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be, or even like a little bit of a reminder or something that kind of like turns that key to help you understand where you want to go with this. But you can do yoga, you can pray, you can meditate. Whatever works for you that gives you that connection to Source is what you're going to want to use to deepen that bond. Because it's, this is special just like anything else. It's unique to you just like you're unique to all of us, right? You have your own special beliefs in the way that you connect, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to do it like everybody or anybody. You just have to do it as yourself. Very nice. So this is making me feel a little bit emotional. So of course this is an emotional situation, but for some of us, I feel that it's very, like it's a heaviness on your heart that you are waiting to release. So I'm getting a little emotional. So if my voice is cracking, it's because of that, because I can feel that coming through. So I just want to give you a big hug right now and bless you. Oh, I love you guys so much. You are all so special. I gotta get myself together here. Spirit, thank you for those beautiful messages and that feeling. You're all very special and you're all very beautiful, and we all have a unique place here. And the heaviness on your heart, I guarantee you, when you are able to surrender that, will be, you'll remember it, because all experiences are for a reason, but you can remember that with love and joy in your heart, knowing that it brought you to where you're going to be going, which is so beautiful, so beautiful. Woo, guys, that's powerful stuff. Okay, let's move on. I'm gonna get myself together here. We got to do the self-care cards, because it's important to know what our body wants. Okay, so chanting is really going to be, I mean, that's part of music also, and that is really going to be important for us also, I think, in kind of helping with the spirituality thing. So that's beautiful. I love that. I love it when everything just kind of flows together. The cards will never lie to you. They will not lie to you. You can try to make it mean something else, but they ain't going to lie to you, right? Now, that being said, with the chanting, there's different sounds with different meanings for the chanting, and I couldn't possibly be able to tell you about that, because I don't know. I know almost nothing about the chanting end of things. For some of you, I think that I'm feeling that this is going to be a modality for a very select few of you, that it's going to be a thing for you. Some way to connect, not with just the divine, but to help other people connect with the divine. Like, you're going to help people do that through chanting, okay? As a side, sorry, that just popped into my head. And I do know that there is chants or sounds for like the chakras and stuff. So I think a good place to start would just start there and take a look at it. For those of you who resonate with that and want to learn more about it, then I would go do that. That's going to be important. I think that's going to help you out a lot. Look into that. And I'm just going to pull one last card here, just like a positive affirmation for us to have for the week, right? Right here. Hardship. May I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. Okay, so we have to embrace what's happening right now, and even if there are some painful things or things we don't understand and our commitment is being tested, we have to have that trust in God, Source, Universe, however you resonate, to guide us. We have to surrender. And if you need to do that through chanting, through meditation, through music, I feel like that's going to be a really nice segue into us being able to get back into that relationship with our higher power. Okay, so that's beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and let's move on to the nutritional advice, some food suggestions, maybe throw in a couple recipes and ideas for you guys there. So I am really feeling that we should be taking care of like our hearing. I'm feeling that there are maybe a lot of us that are clairaudient. So you have, and you can Google this and look it up if you're not sure what it is, but basically it's about like being able to hear things like and it's not necessary. Sometimes you can hear a voice saying things. Sometimes it's almost just like a thought that comes in that it doesn't really have a voice per se. So it's important, I think, because there are different things that can happen. You can have like some ringing in your ears, and there is a difference between ringing in your ears when you're having things come up that you are trying to hear in a spiritual type manner, or using your intuition for that, and like something like tinnitus, where you have ringing in your ears because it's from some kind of dysfunction that's happening in that area. So there is a difference, and certain things can also set it off to where, if you have fluid in your ears, if you have plugged up ears, if sometimes they will pop a lot too, and all of that. But if you're eating a lot of foods that are inflammatory. And we've spoke about this before, but if you're new here and you don't know, inflammatory foods like lots of processed foods, fried foods that are fried in really bad oils that have trans fats in them that is very inflammatory. Refined sugar, eating a diet with a lot of refined sugar in it will be very inflammatory also. So you want to kind of watch that and see if it makes a difference. If you're having things going on in your ears and you don't think it's because it's a clairaudient kind of thing, if you are eating those kinds of inflammatory foods, maybe try to take some of them out, see if it makes a difference. And also, potassium is great for making sure that you're getting foods rich in potassium. Can help because it regulates the fluid in our body. So that can help if you're having like fluid issues. Not eating the inflammatory foods can help if they feel like really clogged and plugged up and real poppy, and it's not because it's due to the clairaudient kind of thing, right? Or you can rule that out anyway. Foods rich in potassium are like dried apricots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and bananas. Cucumbers and even peas are a good source of potassium. And then also I was feeling like the skeletal kind, like taking care of our bones. Because for whatever reason, when I'm seeing her on this card, and when I'm seeing the chanting thing, for whatever reason, I'm also thinking movement too. I can't help but move my body when I hear music, or it just happens automatically. I can't control it. I can control it to a certain extent, but it just automatically starts happening. So for whatever reason, the bones came to my mind, and potassium is also really important for the skeletal system, and zinc came up to me too. So I think we're going to want to make sure that we are not supplementing with vitamins and taking an over-the-counter supplementation or anything like that, but really getting those foods rich in those minerals. And for the zinc, so beef, pork, peas, beans, and nuts, those things are going to be rich in zinc. And another thing that came up to me too is minerals. You have to digest your food properly in order to be able to absorb those nutrients, because you're going to absorb those minerals in your small intestine for the most part. Most of the absorption is going to happen there. So it's going to be really important. The stomach acid came up. So I don't know if there is a lot of you that have stomach acid problems are maybe taking those PPIs, or feeling like you need to eat a lot of Tums because you get a lot of heartburn, you get a lot of acid reflux or really bad indigestion. So I will link the video that I did on the digestion portion. But to get a little more into it too, I think we really are going to be dealing with being able to regulate that stomach acid. So now if you're on a prescription, of course, you're not just going to want to stop taking it and go willy-nilly into whatever it is. You're going to want to make sure that you're speaking with your healthcare provider, that you're doing a lot of research, and that you're finding things out. But, you know, a lot of times people who think that they have too much stomach acid in actuality don't have enough, and the reason why they're getting that heartburn and the acid reflux is because they are not breaking down their food properly, and it's not able to get out and of the stomach and get to where it needs to go properly, and it's fermenting and it's putrefying, and it's not able to get out of there, so it's bubbling back up, right? So that's something for you to look into, and of course that's not going to be the case with everybody, and of course there are people who do have too much acid, but usually in that instance you will know if you have too much acid. Turning off that acid even more is, it might feel better because you're not having those symptoms, but that's not taking care of the root problem. That's not taking care of anything. It's not going to be solved. It's just going to be covering up the symptom, and it's going to just keep on going. So it's still going to be there. So that depends on, how committed you are and how invested you are in taking care of that, whether you want to go further into and researching about that and finding a healthcare provider. Usually it's on the holistic end of things that are going to want to help you take care of that. We're just gonna want to pay attention to making sure that we're digesting as well as we can. So I'll link that video. We want to make sure that we're taking good care of our bones. We want to have good strength in our bones, and along with the potassium and zinc that just kind of came through, also exercise. Exercise is really going to, like walking, weight bearing exercise is going to help your bone strength and build strong bones also. And then, so potassium and zinc, and I gave you some examples, some food suggestions for that. And then as far as recipes go, like for the dried apricots, you can really put them, like chop them up or blend them up a little bit, because they're nice and sweet and they're kind of gooey. You can make a barbecue sauce out of that. Just take a standard barbecue sauce recipe, and like some tomato sauce and some tomato paste, and if you like the onions and garlic in it, you could totally do that too, or you can just use some spices, that's fine, and just let it, bubble, boil and trouble in there, and let it get nice and thick and gooey, and you can use it for just a barbecue sauce for meatballs. So beef, you can put on the beef, right? And even chicken, both of those are going to be good sources of zinc. And so you can make a barbecue sauce. You could even do like an Asian kind of sauce instead, where you, instead of putting in like the tomato sauce and the tomato paste, you could do, keep the honey, but do salt and pepper, some garlic and ginger, and maybe keep the apricots a little bit chunkier and make it kind of like a glaze. That'd be beautiful on pork, right? Yeah. You could even put a little bit of clove in there or something if your heart felt like doing that. That would be delicious. So those would be some good options for dinner. And for lunch, you can just make a salad, with some spinach in there, and throw some apricots in there, and because apricots also have the dried apricots also have the zinc too, and you could put some goat cheese in there with it, and that would be beautiful. That would be lovely. And let's see, for breakfast I would eat the leftovers myself. Of course you could like make a bowl of oatmeal and put some apricots or something in there like that, or have something that incorporates some nuts. So you could do some oats or something and do some nuts in there with some dried apricot. That actually sounds really good. And of course you can make a plethora of baked goods. I'm sure you could find some healthy baked good recipes that work for you that you would like to try out. That's good. I hope you're all like really into cooking delicious home cooked meals and finding out how to incorporate new recipes into your day. And if you're not, like, it's okay. That's fine. If you know what you like and that's the way it is, it's okay. But being adventurous in the kitchen brings wonderful things about for me. So I just like to I get excited about it, I guess, and I like to see if other people are excited about it too. So get some exercise, listen to some music, and be in the present moment, right? And you guys, you guys are really going to be going somewhere. I just feel it. And I'm really excited to see where this is going to take you. I feel like you guys are really going to be doing some awesome stuff and just learning some things about yourself that are really going to propel you forward. And it's so exciting. Leave in the comments, what are you working on? And what's ringing true with you in this reading? Because I'm really interested to know what's going on with you guys. This is really cool. And make sure you're giving your ears some love. You know what I do? I even massage my ears. When I massage my face, like I do some gua sha tools on my face, because I'm getting older and I'm trying to lift it and tighten it and make it pretty as often as I can, right? So when I do the gua sha and stuff and I have the oil on my face, like I oil down my little ears too, and I rub them nice nice, and I give them a little massage, and I rub around where the front of it is, and I rub the back and all that stuff, and I'll get some cracking and some popping and some things happening. So try that too. Do a little ear massage. Your ears will be so happy. They'll tell you all kinds of lovely things after you do that for them, right? All right, so I better let you guys go. I could babble forever, I tell you, but I'll let you go for now. So subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell if you want to be notified when I put them out on Sunday. New videos on Sundays, yay. And share it if you want to share it, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and leave comments. Let me know what's going on, how you guys are doing, and if there's anything that you guys are wanting to know or see, let me know, because I'm down for new stuff always. Okay, you guys have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I will send you love and healing energy, a big fat hug right now, and I wish you the best, and I'll see you guys again next week for a new reading. All right, see you then. Bye now.